Okay, so we are on part 8 of what's on the shelf. And then on this particular cubby, we have Cash Flow 202, Detective, a Modern Crime Board Game, Mystery of the Abbey, Reworld, and Ticket to Ride. So Cashflow 202 is actually an expansion for Cashflow 101, so it's not a standalone game at all. It changes the cards that you would use with the Cashflow 101 game, and it introduces stocks. There are stocks in the first game, but now they have stocks where you can trade options, and you can actually short the market as well. Having an understanding of how the stock markets work or how trading works makes this a little bit easier, but it's not necessarily quite necessary, but it helps. This is one that we would use because I used to work for a trading company that taught stocks and real estate investing, and this was a game that we used as a training tool. So I played Cashflow 202 a lot. The next one we have on that shelf is Detective, a Modern Crime Board Game. So with this one here is you are a detective. You're going through a scenario, and it's kind of cool too because there's a website where you log on that's kind of the database for the police work that's trying to solve these crimes. So you can go and search on there and do some things, and then some of the information is going to be on the cards, and it's really kind of maneuvering between all of the things that's made accessible to you to kind of try to solve the crime. Of course, if you go from one location to another, it'll take you time for travels and time you spend there. So you have a limited amount of time trying to solve the murder. This one, I've noticed that the first scenario and the second scenario definitely really follows along with each other. So having the same people playing the game is helpful. Which is why I haven't finished the game, because we had started the first 2 scenarios. We're going to do the third, but then I ended up moving. So by the time we could connect again, it's kind of like, geez, we would need to do them again. So probably going to have to start again with a group of people that is a little bit more accessible. Next one on that shelf is Mystery of the Abbey. This one was a game that was kind of referred to me as a clue killer, right? So it replaced, for a lot of people, the game of Clue. It's similar, as in you'll move around. Everybody gets a sheet with all the monks that's in this monastery. You go into the different rooms, but depending on the rooms that you're in, what you can do as well, trying to discover who caused the murder. Now, was the monk bald? Was he big? Was he part of which church, and that type of information. Now, this is one that I haven't played yet, so I can't say too much. This is from when I was kind of looking at some videos on how to play, so that's the idea of how it works from what I understand. We also have Reworld on this cubby. Reworld was actually a game that we bought on Board Game Bliss here in Canada, and it was on sale for $5. So I bought it, my neighbor bought it, a bunch of people bought it, and I played it, and then I don't know why they sold it for so little, but it's a really good game. This game plays in 2 portions. So the first section is going to be, so first of all, what's happening is we are colonizing a new world. So we're prepping, kind of bringing what is going to be placed into the new world. So you're collecting these different, pods that's going to get attached to your the main ship that's going to travel across the universe. And depending on the pods that you have, some of them are going to be part of construction crews that's going to create the new cities. Some of them are going to be satellite or part of your defense system. Some of them are just carry pods, because not every pod can fly by themselves down to the surface of the new planet, so you'll need to have some pods that will carry it down and so on. The neat part about the first portion is if you want to put one of those pods onto your ship, you gotta you're handed there's a hand of cards that's given to you with different numbers on it. So if I put a 3 on next to the pod that I want to get, so then that pod can come down and it goes on the section 3 of my ship. If I want the pod that's next to it, I can put a 3. Now, because the 3 is already touching next to where I've added stuff. So if I don't have a 3, then I can replace it by putting 2 other cards. Maybe I have a 4 and a 5. So I'd have to play 2 cards to secure that particular pod now. And then depending on which card is put on top, that's where it's going to go in my ship. So either in the row 4 or in the row 5. And then if I want the pod that's between a 3 and a 1, well then I would have to put a 1 and a 3 on that middle pod to take it. And if I don't have a 1 and a 3, maybe I have a 3 but I don't have the 1, then I could put a 2 and a 4 and a 3, and then whichever one I put on top, whether it's the 2, 4, or the 3, as to where it's going to go on my ship. So it kind of has a neat puzzle to it, because as you grow your cities on the new planet, depending on the order of things go, there'll be scoring opportunities. So you want to try to build as much as you can before the scoring opportunity is triggered, technically. So you want to try to organize the things on your ship as best as you can. So that's part of the first half, where you collect all these pods to put in your ship. Then I'll show you kind of a picture. So when you start, it kind of looks like that there, where you're starting to add. As you can tell there, the second row doesn't have anything yet. So by the time that you're done having selected all of the pods that you want, your ship's going to look like this a little bit more. So it kind of has all the pods. I found strategy-wise it was helpful to kind of put the ones that's going to travel and carry things down, and try to put them all in one row so it's not blocking anything, because it could be that by the time you get to the last pods you can't get them down, or that some get blocked, so you can't put them all on your on the new world. And then in the second section you start building these new worlds. So in these ones, the first tile on the left there says new city, so it's like new, it's kind of common cities around the world, so like New Los Angeles or different things like that. And then you can only have one building company per cities, because they're not going to work with each other. So then you would add on to that particular city and then score as you go. And as you unlock certain if you're the first one to have 3 cities built, or first one to have 3 satellite orbiting your new world, or different things like that, you can grab the bonus points that you would earn as you go. And then at the end of the game, once you've built all of that you could in your cities, everybody scores, tally up their points, and then whoever has the most points win. I really enjoy this one, and I don't know why it was $5, but it's a steal at that amount, and then the game was just amazing. Next one I have on that shelf is Ticket to Ride Europe. This one is kind of a classic game. I don't know that anybody has not played this one yet. It's a neat game. It's a resource management. You collect cards that have different colored locomotive on it, and then you spend them to build your railroads. You also have secret missions that are given to you, where you would score bonus points for connecting a road between 2 cities, and the bigger ones that give you the most points would be kind of a really long road that goes from one end to the other, and trying to connect a route in that way. Then you'll get some cards that give you smaller goals, like smaller routes to build, that would give you points as well. With this one, the difference between the Ticket to Ride Europe to the regular Ticket to Ride is they've introduced stations. So one of the things that's so frustrating when you play Ticket to Ride is if you know you're supposed to trying to go one way and you're building to it, and then somebody blocks you. Normally you can do 2 routes between each cities, but if 2 other people use it, now you can't build that way. In this game, they allow you to put a station that makes it so that you can borrow somebody else's line and kind of keep going further down. This is a neat one, crowd pleaser. It's always one that's well received, and it's a fun one. It's a classic. It's probably one that we'll keep for quite a long time. And then that's it for that cubby. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, my group is Didsbury and Areas Playing All the Games, or on Instagram, it's under boardgame_mama. Thanks. Have a great day.